Let's get rolling, guys. It looks like everybody who's here was here last time, so it won't be a bunch of catch up. I have a little bit, we're going to get significantly more advanced today. And the good news is, the stuff I'm going to ask you to do only lasts about 8 seconds or something like that. So it's not like we're making some giant long thing. It's only 8 seconds, but it's 8 seconds of complicated business, all right? And you should have had a handout back here. In fact, I'm going to grab myself one. Thank you, sir. This handout in the small font is all the stuff from last week, just to kind of refresh your mind of what we did. And then the big font down here, it's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, but there's 6 big ticket items that are a little confusing. So that's all we're going to focus on today. Let me just, before I go any further, let me just say that you guys, I know I said this last time, but like it's so amazing that you're here today. And there's only like 22 of you here out of 50, and I really appreciate it. And if I were in your position, I'm not sure how easy it would be. I kind of am in your position. Like I got kids and stuff, but I'm not sure how easy it would be for me to come. And I just really appreciate you being here. So I'm going to try to put as much awesome things into your brain as possible so that you can actually do cool stuff with your kids. That's the only reason that we're here. So that's what we're going to do. Today, I have Natalia Dooley. If you don't know her, she's amazing. She's sort of my elementary. That's right. Let's give her a round of applause. She's the hardest working person in this building, and she is here to help me today. And then I have 2 of my favorite, I'm not supposed to say that, my best ever students. Here we have Christian, and here we have Lexi. I've known them for years. Yes, give them a round of applause. Yep. What we're going to do today is significantly and challenging enough that I felt like we needed some backup. So, Christian, Lexi, and Natalia, now, all right, we're getting some folks. This will work. All 3 of them are here, and they're going to be working and sitting beside you and helping you. And if you have a question or if you get stuck, rather than getting 5 minutes behind, raise your hand. One of them will come catch you up, and we'll keep on moving, all right? So I thought I was going to have both of my kids in here this entire time. My wife had to go to the doctor, and all my family was out of town, and I was flipping out up until about 30 minutes ago. We don't want a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old waiting for 2 hours while we do this. So I'm glad that worked out. Does anybody in here not have their hard drive? Okay. Miss Edgar, I got you right here. Who else? Okay, that's okay. We can get through today without your hard drive, but today would be a good opportunity to use it for the first time. Here you go. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah. The only one I don't have an asset tag for is Cindy. Cindy's right back there in the back. Can we see your hard drive for a sec? Hopefully she's got an asset tag. Okay. And then okay. In that case, maybe we'll just put the serial number in. Have a look. Okay, yeah. If that's the case, it's right there. All right, so I told you guys that the theme for today, as cheesy as it sounds, the theme for today is have fun and matter. In my opinion, there are only 2 things that I need out of my day, like in general. That's to have fun and to matter. So today, we're going to focus on 2 different things. And it's the same way with your kids, right? That's all they want to feel in their day. They just want to have fun, and they want to feel like their day mattered. So today we're going to focus on 2 sort of separate things that hopefully address both of those things. So first, we're going to focus on the have fun part, and then we'll try to focus on the matter part at the end. Or maybe all of it will matter, so maybe I shouldn't have broken it up. The first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to download those 2 .mov files off of Google Drive. Has everybody got those? Okay, I sent them in the email. You can't? That's weird. Can you go to your email and click on the link? That's what you did? Weird. Okay, so Command Q completely out of that program. Turn your Wi-Fi off in the top right. Turn it back on, and then try again, and hopefully that will fix it. we've got a few other things to talk about before we get there. So the two clips are Whit gets hit car footage, and then Whit gets hit green screen. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn all of the stuff that's on this sheet. Crop, trim, transform, keyframes, the keyer effect, all of that stuff above record voiceover. We're going to learn all of those while using these two clips. And when you're done, you're going to end up with a 5 to 10 second like composite clip of the green screen footage and the car footage going together and trying your hardest to make it look like the two things happened at the same time in the same place. It's probably not going to look that way because we shot it yesterday in about 3 minutes. So this, it's not going to look perfect, but we can try. The green screen thing in general, let's talk about that. It's called chroma keying. Chroma for color, keying for removing. So the idea of chroma keying is that you find a color or a range of colors and then you remove them from every frame. And just so you know, this is 30 frames per second. So imagine it's basically 30 pictures for every second of footage, and it's got to remove every green pixel from every picture within that second. So it's doing a lot of work, which is why you need the faster computer. This kind of stuff is pretty processor intensive. If you are interested in green screen stuff, a lot of you are already messing with this stuff with iMovie. A lot of librarians in the district have green screens already, and a lot of teachers are already messing with it. It's really powerful, and kids love using it. If you are interested in making a cheap green screen, you can buy a fabric one if you want a whole bunch of hassle. All right, a lot of you have fabric ones. If you are willing to go the extra mile and do a little upfront work, you can build one that will last you years that you'll never have to worry about. The problem with cloth green screens is that they get wrinkles in them, whether you do anything to them or not. They just get wrinkles in them. You end up steaming them all the time or removing them and ironing them for 3 hours, which I've done many times in my life. So the way that we sort of got around that at James Clemens is we spent 1.5 years with the construction department and we built a cyclorama wall that looks like a half pipe. And we painted that thing green. And we bought this really, really crazy expensive paint that was like $150 a gallon. And we used 2.5 gallons on it or something. You don't have to do that. You can go to Lowe's. You can get Chroma Key Green. It's a Pantone. And you can buy yourself some green screen paint. It's just a color. You know what I mean? There's nothing special about it. It's just a particular shade of green that works best. The thing is, it's not just green that works. Blue can work. Blue works especially well with brown-skinned humans. Stephen, excuse me? Green works especially well with Caucasian skin tones, right? The reason is that green is the exact color wheel opposite to this peach color that I am. That's why we use green. And blue happens to be the color wheel opposite of Stephen Mathis, okay? So that's the only reason we use those colors. Technically, you can remove anything. You could remove black if you wanted to. It gets a little wonky because I have shades of black all in me, but it's something to think about. That's the main reason we use green. All right, so let's get going. First things first, launch Final Cut. Assuming you've already downloaded the 2 clips off of Google Drive. Raise your hand if you feel like your MacBook Pro's battery is running down faster than it should. All right, that's a significant problem. I've already talked to like 3 of you. I think that maybe it's a software thing. I think there's something running in the background that's running your computers down. And I don't know what it is because I can't figure out what's different between yours and all the others in the district. I've been keeping mine plugged in. You have? So it's hard to even know if it's a problem. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Bear with me. I know it's like a problem that some of you are having. Let me figure that out. In the meantime, hopefully it's still workable. Okay, guys. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to put a new event into the library called Fall 2015, or whatever library that you created last time. Joelle, do you need a hard drive? Yeah. This one's got your name on it. Um,
Coming in late, which video is it, the first or the second?
so, okay. All right, so let's create a new event because we're going to start working on a new movie. So all you got to do at the top left of your screen is click on your library that's probably called Fall 2015 if you were here last time. Then you're going to go to File, New, Event. And let's call this Wit Gets Hit. And then hit OK. All right. Now all we've got to do is get those 2 clips we downloaded off Google Drive into our event. And if you get behind at all, raise your hand, and one of them will come help you and catch you up. So I've got I've got an event here called Wit Gets Hit. It's a little compressed. Let me stretch it out so you can see. Wit Gets Hit, right there. Say what? Click and drag what? Okay. Oh, you can do that. You can do that. I'm going to show you a different way. All right, once you have an event called Wit Gets Hit, make sure it's highlighted in blue. Click it once so that it's selected. Then right here in this gray space, 2-finger press on your touchpad. That's a right click. When you do that, it knows that you want to import media into that specific event. So now hit Import Media. And now what you'll have to do is navigate to your Downloads folder on your Mac to find those 2 new clips. In my case, it's on the desktop. In your case, it'll be in Downloads. To get to Downloads, I'm going to click on my name on the far left over here, and then I'm going to double-click on the Downloads folder. And it should be right in there, the 2 clips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of them, and then I'm going to shift-click on the other one. That's going to select both of them. Cool? Okay. We're gonna take a little breather then. Lexi, will you go help them? Just get their 2 clips imported. It should be in the Downloads folder. Yeah. Hey, okay. You don't have your hard drive yet, do you? Here you go.
From what I hear, I don't need it.
Yeah, you should be okay today, but.
They don't work.
Oh, they work. I sent a video on how to get it to work. Huh? Okay, it works. Kim, what's up? Okay, let's do it again. So double finger tap, import media, and then get that one and hit import again. Weird. Doesn't show up. For some reason it's rejected it. I don't know why. You're good now. It's there. I'm going to tell you that in a second. Okay, so your goal at the moment is to have a new event called Wit Gets Hit that has those 2 clips in it. Right? I'm going to go ahead and do that for me. Okay. So everyone look up here. I have 2 clips in my event, and above that I have an untitled project. Raise your hand if you do not have an untitled project. No big deal. What you're going to do is you're going to go to File, New, Project. Make sure that new project is going into that event. Have you downloaded the 2 clips? Okay, cool. So you got to go here and then go to your Downloads folder, and then there they are. So I'm going to shift click on this last one there.
But then how do you?
Now hit import. That's it. Yep. Cool.
I did it.
Okay, what's going on?
Double clicked,
Uh-huh.
but then this is what came up after I double clicked.
Like, oh, you 2 finger. Okay, so
did.
click on this little home.
Oh, that name. I thought
Yeah,
it was this
there you
name.
go. Now double click on downloads, and Wit Gets Hit. There's a few copies of them in
Yeah,
there.
that's why.
Here's what let's do. Let's click on this guy right here, and then I'm going to command click on this one. So now you got the green screen and the car footage. Import. There you go. All right. Everybody feeling good now? We got both our clips in there, and we have a project in there also. You should have 3 items in your event. You should have a green screen clip, you should have a car parking lot clip, and then you should have an untitled project. Those 3 things, all right? So let's go ahead and title our project. To do that, all we have to do is single click on the words untitled project. Now let's call this Wit Gets Hit. Does anybody remember why you could have multiple projects inside of an event? Using the same footage but making like a variety of different things with it, like a director's cut or a trailer or shortened version or whatever, yeah. In this case, we're not going to need a director's cut on this 8-second masterpiece. All right? Okay, are we ready to move? Give me a thumbs down if we can't move on. Okay, cool. What's up, Dixie?
Okay.
You looking for Final Cut?
No, I've already opened that up. In my, in my Google Drive, I've got Daniel.
She's letting me
Okay,
go.
so I downloaded them in my content creator today, and now they're not there. I downloaded both of them in that. It was in my drive. Okay, so then I looked down here on mail. I'm still not getting my email on this, and Donna Scott didn't know how to help me. When I went up here to do the drive, you know, to map the drive,
Yeah.
and I did the different slashes.
Okay, so they're not downloaded yet. Let's start this.
Okay.
Go ahead and log in here. We're going to do it on the web. We'll have to tackle your email separately so that we can
Yeah.
move on. Hey, Christian, you got some time? In a second? Okay. Yeah, your regular login. Okay. So now you can just click not now or whatever you want there. So now try to find that email from me. Lexi, can you? Okay. Here's what we need you to do, either one of you. This is Miss Pascal. She's navigating to the Google Drive link that I sent her. She needs to get both clips downloaded to her downloads folder and then pulled into Final Cut. All right. All right, now we okay? No? Getting there? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Miss Howard. The good news is, once this is in, it's going to be a little bit easier. It's just everybody's got different issues right now, but once we're all on the same page, we'll all move forward at the same pace, give or take. Miss Edgar, you need some help? Okay, what's up? All right.
Well, I had it up, but it's gone. Show me where in the world I go and get it back.
Okay, so there's you click on here, and then double click your downloads folder, and here are your 2 clips. So I'm going to click on one, and then I'm going to shift click on that other one to select them both.
Okay.
Now import. Perfect. Now the only thing we have left to do is add a project to that event and call it Wit Gets Hit also.
Okay, another Wit Gets Hit. We already have all these.
Let's see. I'll show you.
Hit 3.
Yeah. So we've got a project inside this event.
Oh, okay.
And then this guy right here, I can actually get rid of that. Okay. So now you're on the same page. You've got one event called Wit Gets Hit. You've got 2 clips, and then you've got a project called Wit Gets Hit. So the project is what you're going to do here. All right? All right, cool. Okay. Raise your hand if you need help to catch up. You good? All right. Are you really? Okay, let's move on then. Okay. So, here's the thing with green screen stuff. With green screen footage, the way that it works in Final Cut, whatever you put on the bottom is going to show on the bottom. Whatever you put on top is going to show on the top, and that applies to all things. So if I were to put text on top of video, then that text will show on top of video. But if I put the text underneath video, the video is going to hide my text. I'm not going to be able to see through the video. You know what I mean? So green screen works the same way. If I put the green screen footage here, and I remove everything in that's green, and then I want to put a different background behind it, I've got to put it underneath it, so it'll show underneath. Okay? So you got to think of green as a transparent layer. You should think of the green, think of the green screen footage as a piece of glass with stuff painted on it. You erase all the green, you're left with a transparent piece of glass. So then whatever you put behind that glass is what you would see. You know what I'm saying? So what we've got to do is we've got to put the green screen clip onto our timeline, and we got to trash the green. We have to key it out. That's the word, key, K-E-Y. All right, so first things first, let's take the green screen clip, the whole thing, click on it once so that it's highlighted in yellow, and then pull it down to your magnetic timeline. I'll do that now. All right, cool. Are you starting to put together what we're about to build here? Okay, good times. So now, you've got a sheet of paper here, and you're about to see the first 2 or 3 items, okay? What we've got to do, if I were to key out the green, that would be great. The problem is, all I want is me. I don't want the wall, or that box, or the plug on the wall, or this light. I don't want any of that stuff in there. There's no way to key that out. It's not a color. It's not green, right? So we have to manually trim out that stuff. Once we've manually trimmed out everything that's not green, then we can key out the green, all right? So let's go ahead and trim it out. To trim it out, you have to click right here on this drop-down arrow and choose Crop, which ironically is not the tool you're about to use. Once you've clicked on Crop, you have 3 options, and one of them is Crop. Seems like they would rethink that, right? So once you click Crop, you see Trim, Crop, and Ken Burns. Let me tell you the difference between Trim and Crop. Trim allows you, so here's a 16:9 frame of my face, right? Trim allows me to trim out parts of it, but I'm still left with black space on both sides. Crop, on the other hand, allows me to shrink the 16:9 rectangle, and now I'm like full screen, and it blows it back up to be full screen. So Crop makes it smaller and then full screen again. I'll show you what I mean. Let me click on Crop. If you do this, you can always hit undo. I'm on Crop right now. I am not asking you to do this. I just want you to see what it does. I'm going to crop in a little bit to just like my upper body and hit OK. Now I'm like full screen, that part. That's not what I want. I want to keep everything the same size. I just want to trim out some of the junk. So let me Command Z and get rid of that. OK, cool. So now I'm going to click on this and choose Crop. So I'm going to choose Trim. Now, when I choose Trim, I have all these blue handlebars all around my rectangle. Let's pull those handlebars in and down so that all I see is green around me. All right, I'll do that now. I'm going to pull the left one in a little bit, and it's a little hard to get a hold of. A little hard to get a hold of. Yeah. See? Pull that guy in. And now I'm going to pull this in. Yours should look something like this.
Why is my picture different?
Why is my picture
You're hovering on over a different frame. See, like if you had clicked there, now it's, you see what I mean? It's just wherever you're, yeah.
But it doesn't make a difference in trimming.
No. Here's the thing. What you're doing right now is you're trimming this entire clip. Yeah. So wherever your playhead, that line that goes up and down right here, wherever this playhead is the frame of video you're going to see here. But the trim effect is being applied to this whole thing. Cool? All right. So does everybody have it cut roughly like this? It should be like a trimmed square, basically. So it's no longer a 16 by 9 rectangle, it's a square. However, it still is a 16 by 9 rectangle. It's just that stuff's still there. It's just blackness or nothingness. It's waiting for some information underneath it. Okay, so once you're done with that, in the top right above the frame, click Done. The little handle, it's hard to grab them, isn't it? Yeah. One thing, let me show you a little trick that's kind of awesome. If I go here and go to 25, now I can actually grab them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now I can get a hold of it and move it in. Except it's still a little hard. But once you get it, then you can go back to fit, and then you're, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
When I hit trim,
Okay,
like I've
see
got
this?
this top.
Yeah, see that percentage?
Yeah.
Drop that down a little bit. Go to 25. Now you got them. You just
Okay.
couldn't see them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, one really important thing, guys, to note is that thing right there is called the viewfinder. I think that's what they call it in Final Cut. The thing right here where you can actually see the video, you can scale that in, you can zoom in and out. So zooming out will allow you to actually grab those blue bars a little bit more. And once you've made your change, then you can put it back to full zoom or whatever. Just to illustrate that point, I can take this and go down to 12.5, make some changes, and then I can take that and go back to fit, and it's going to fit it to my box. All right, everybody is looking like this. Okay, now the magic happens. Now we actually get rid of the green. To do this, it's relatively simple, assuming that your green is all, give or take, the same shade of green. Look at that frame. Do you see a variety of shades of green? You see shadows, right? Because I used overhead lighting. When movie companies like, I don't know, whoever, makes a movie like The Avengers, they light the green screen with literally 50 different lights so that it's perfectly a beautiful wash of green and there are no shadows being cast by the actors. That's how they can get that amazing, realistic look. I can't do that with this setup, at least not in 3 minutes with my students. So there's going to be some shadows, but Final Cut does a pretty good job of guessing and getting it close. So all we have to do right now is click on the Effects button right here, which is your first button in that row. That's going to pull up your menu. And then you're going to go to Keying right here. Keying. All right. Keying. All right. Once you've selected keying, you have a couple of different effects inside here. The only one we care about today, and in general, I don't know that I've ever used a Luma keyer, and I'm not real sure what it is. I'm going to take this keyer right here and drag it and drop it on my clip. I'm going to do that now. Boom. You probably see some gray artifacts. Do you see a little bit of gray artifacts around there? Yeah. You will have that. If you have ever used iMovie, Chris, to remove a green screen, you know what I'm talking about. Because there's a variety of shades of green, the software, all it can do is make its best guess. You know what I mean? So it averaged all the greens in the frame, and it removed as many of them as it felt comfortable doing. If you want it to go deeper or choose a wider range of green, you have to teach it to do that. So that's what we're going to do right now. All right?
How do you know that keyer is the one you want?
I just know, and I'm teaching you that.
Because when we click it and we see this little mountain thing,
Mm-hmm.
it has nothing to do with what's in that little box.
You would Google it.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, there's lots of things in here. And like luma keyer, I really don't, like I'm not making that up, I really don't know what a luma keyer is. I really don't. I might need it one day, and one day when I get some free time, when I'm 70 or so, I'm going to Google that, and I'm going to find out what it is, because I don't know. I don't think that there's like it'd be cool if you could hover over it and it would tell you what it would do.
But keyer always takes the green in.
Keyer, that's what the keyer does.
Okay.
It would also remove blue automatically as well. If you had a blue screen, it would remove that too. Okay, so now I've got some gray artifacts around me, but it's done a decent job. It removed like 90% of what I wanted. So now this part gets a little strange, but so just watch me before you try to do it. See right here, I got some gray. I need to teach it what greens to remove. So at the top right, it says sample color right there. I'm going to click once on sample color. And then I'm going to actually draw a box over the stuff that I want it to remove. Like that. Now I have taught it what types of greens to remove. And I'm done. That's how you train it to remove a particular type of green. So it guessed, but it only got 90%. This is the rest of the way. So you're going to click sample color and draw a box around the part that you don't like. The grayish part with artifacts. And when you do that, it's going to remove all of that stuff. What's up?
I don't have that box.
Okay, to get the box, you need your, okay, so select the clip. You need your inspector. That's all it is. Yeah. All right, so now click sample color and draw a box across that. And there's that drawing of the box thing is not a perfect science, okay? I always just, and you can actually draw multiple boxes. I could draw one box up here, and if it got most of it, I could draw another box down here, and it would like average all those greens together and remove them all.
Once you've drawn the box, what do you do?
Once you've drawn the box, you're done. You've taught it which greens, yep. Okay? Has everybody had a chance to sample the green, and now it should be probably me laying on the ground or standing there or something with nothing but black? Okay.
Yeah, but it took away some of your like.
Okay.
Don't be careful.
Yeah.
It will take your clothes.
If you sample too much, you're going to start to remove parts of me, and I'm going to start to look like a ghost. Play with that if you want to. Check it out. If you draw your box into my clothing will then become what's called an alpha channel, which is like transparent. So, yeah. Draw a smaller box and only capture that gray area. That's your jam right there. You got a gray line? Okay, so let's bring that trim line in a little bit then. So in that case, I would click here again on that drop-down arrow and choose crop. Now I would pull that blue handlebar in another like little tick. Just pull it in a little more. There you go. Now hit done, and you should be good to go. All right. Now, to avoid all of this nonsense about sampling color and trimming your frame and all that stuff, if you want to do this type of work with students, right, and you're not real concerned about the artistic things about it, you just want to put the streets of Paris behind them or whatever, what I would do is I would zoom in tight when you film on their shoulders and up, just like this, and have nothing but green behind them. So that way you don't have to worry about trimming out the wall and everything. Your entire frame of video is green. That's what you're looking for with kids. Because this is pretty advanced for kids, you know? But think about this. If you've ever tried to do this in iMovie or on an iPad app, there's no way for you to get this specific and get a professional looking bit of video. You can do that with Final Cut. So I'm teaching you guys the super advanced version. That's how you scale it back for kids. Shoot only green behind them and keep it a pretty tight shot. All right? It's going to make it easier for them. Then they'd be able to key it out using like an iPad green screen app or something. They'd be able to do this without Final Cut. Lexi.
The thing to like select the color is
Okay. Okay. It means that they have not yet applied the keyer. So we're going to drag the keyer and drop it onto the clip. You did it 3 times? Oh, you did, didn't you?
It keeps getting darker. I didn't know I did it.
If we can get one-on-one help at Heritage.
With my drinks. Come on.
Okay, so it's being applied. The question is, why am I not
It's
seeing
getting darker
it?
and darker.
Hey, mine's working.
Hold on, I gotta
Let
figure
me
it
not
out.
talk too soon.
I'm just glad to know it wasn't me.
Oh, show. There we go. Okay, so you've got 3. Somehow, I think maybe you accidentally hit hide or something.
Oh,
So let me trash 2 of them.
okay.
So to trash them, I'm selecting keyer and I'm hitting delete. So that affects them. So you're left with 1 keyer now. So
Okay.
now you can hit sample color
Okay.
and you can actually draw a box like
Okay.
that.
All right. Perfect.
And while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and adjust that trim a little bit because I still see some of the wall. Do that, and then I'm going to pull this guy in. You are in good shape. All right. What?
My gray space comes back.
Where? Oh, I see it right there. Okay, so let's do this. Let's sample color again.
Should we have to do it more than once?
Yeah, because the lighting in the room is changing there for some reason. I think when I move out of the way, it's like I stop blocking the overhead lights or something, and so it comes back. That's kind of strange, though. Let's see now. The truth is, it's a crappy film job on my part, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and you're going to be okay with it. All right. Okay. So I'm kind of glad that I gave you guys an imperfect green screen clip, but I'm kind of not so glad because I just did my best try on getting the green screen to go away completely for the duration of the clip, and it kept coming back in and going back out. It's just I didn't spend a lot of time, so it's not okay. It's not a big deal. We're going to move on. I just want to show you how to do this. Okay, so remember what I said. Whatever you put on the bottom shows underneath, right? So we've got this here. It's important to note that this black area around my outline is not black data. It is blank data. It's transparent. It's just in video, the absence of information looks black, not white. And so it's hard for you to know, is that black information or is that just transparency? It's transparency. So now if I put anything underneath here, anything that's black up there will become that thing. I could put white, just a blank. I could go to Google Images and I could get an image of Paris and I could put it under here and stretch it across, but that's not what we're doing. We actually want to put video underneath it. It's just as easy as putting a photo underneath it in Final Cut. So,
Your shirt gonna be having something underneath? Your shirt on here is black. It is true black, not true.
it's true black. That's black information. Yeah. The black around my outline is actually the absence of information. It's waiting to be filled. So let's fill it. All you got to do, grab the car. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to switch this up a little bit. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Take the car footage, grab it, and click and hold right here until that moves out of the way and drop it. Okay? We're actually going to put it before it. And I'll tell you why in a second. It's going to be easier to manage. So we're going to put the car footage here on the main timeline. And then we're going to move this green screen footage and move it and put it up on top. All right? So make the car, I should have done that backwards. Move the car footage, the green screen footage to the top, like that. Now you've got me walking on the street. And I'm a giant. Huh? Let me see. Oh, wow. Yeah, you keyed out a lot. Let's see. Let me kill this footage for a second. tell you what I'm going to do. Trash the here, add it back. There we go. And I'm going to bring that trim in a little more because I still see a little bit of the wall. Bring just a touch like that. Cool. All right, so now if I show this clip, now you're in good shape. Okay, cool. Okay, my friend Mason Overcash is about to run me over with a car.
Why is my little box not like here?
Let me see.
My little here thingy, the sample box. Do I need to click it again? You see what I'm saying?
It's gone. I just clicked off of it. Whoops. I just clicked off of it and clicked back on it, and then now it's gone.
How did you do that?
I just clicked in the gray space.
But now it's not up here either, right?
But if I click here, then it will be.
Ah.
Yeah, remember this inspector shows whatever you've selected here.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Yep. That's the third person that said that. Let me remind everybody. Hey guys, let me remind you for a second. This area up here is called your inspector. You can turn it on and off with this button. Whatever is selected down here on your timeline, the inspector is the settings for that thing, right? So if I click on the green screen footage, I will see the inspector for that green screen footage. If I click on the car footage, I will see a new inspector for that footage. So whatever's selected here, you can edit here. That's the idea. Are we all somewhere close to here where I'm in the parking lot? Okay. So now we've got a few things, right? I mean, and this is a really sort of advanced thing, but think about the simplicity of what you may want to do with kids and scale everything back. It becomes really doable. So I'm pushing really hard to teach you like 5 main things. The problem right here is that the timing is not going to line up. When Mason pulls up in the parking lot, his car is going to come to a screeching halt. And I need to immediately go, and fall to the ground right at that time. So it's going to take some weird timing. And there's no easy way to do this. You just have to kind of use your best judgment. I'm going to move my playhead until I see that I've been hit. I've been hit right there. Actually, that's pretty solid. It actually lines up perfectly. That is an absolute phenomenon. It really is. Okay, well then all right, we're done. We can all go home now. Okay, let's watch it. Here it is, and it's a little weird. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna need to make some surgical moves. We're gonna need to get zoomed in. So Command plus to zoom in a little bit. All right. So that we can make a little bit more precise moves. And we don't want me to preempt the strike too much. Let me see. Right there is when I actually should get hit. To do this, I'm going to need to move this clip back a little bit. The problem is I'm hitting a brick wall at the beginning of my film, right? So what I'm going to have to do is hover over the edge of that green screen clip and pull the footage in a little bit to give me some space. Now I can take this clip and move it. What I did there was, let me undo that. I hovered right here in this, around to the left of this yellow box until I saw a little bracket. And I click and hold and I drag that clip in. I am not moving the clip to the right. I am dragging the beginning of the clip over. So I'm like getting rid of this information completely. I'm saying I don't want the clip to start here. I want it to start right here instead. Alternatively, I could have used my blade. I could have used my blade, cut the footage, and trash that beginning part. It's the same thing. I'll show you. It's the exact same process, or exact same outcome. Blade, cut, arrow, trash. So now I have, it's the same clip, it's just the beginning of it's been truncated. It's been cut off. All right, so now I have a little space to move it over. I'm going to hover over this clip until I see me begin to react, which is like right there. I'm going to pull it. Let me try this. Oh, wait, I pulled it the wrong direction. I need sleep. Let me pull it this way. You can actually, a good indicator is my audio. You see the audio right here? That's me going, no, please, or whatever I said. So you can see that I actually yelled right there, so maybe line that audio up with the car impact. All right, so let me play this back and see if it works. That's not bad. I mean, it's a really poor acting job. All you're doing is moving the two clips in time until it lines up. Make it, okay, Command plus. Command plus to zoom in. Plus, there. Now two finger, just swipe over. So when you're, if I hit Command plus, I'm going to zoom in so I can make more precise moves. And then once I've made the move, I can Command minus to zoom back out. Alternatively, you could use that slider. Yeah. And you have this red box here, which means you're not seeing the whole frame. So select the 50% and choose fit. Now you're seeing the whole frame.
Okay.
Not that it would have mattered too much, but.
That's much easier.
Command Z. Command Z as many times as you need to. Yeah.
Is there not a way to like slightly move the clip rather than click?
Rather than clicking and moving, the arrows don't work. Like you're talking about like nudge is what I'm typically used to. I don't think so. It's super weird. It should be there.
Mine's super close, but I just needed the tiniest bit.
Maybe you could, I mean, you'd have to zoom in and make a more precise drag. Like zoom in a lot.
See, to me, I guess that doesn't really help me. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird.
I'm even a little confused as to which way I need to drag it.
I know. And I dragged it the wrong way. So, I mean, I've been doing this for years. It's the same thing with me. Yeah.
I get it. I see the audio.
All right.
You like scream out or whatever. But how do I get? What do I do?
You need to line it up with the car, right? So let's see. All right, so I'm reacting a hair early, right? So I'm going to click on this guy and drag it slightly to the right. Let's try that. That's too much. I'm going to Command plus to zoom in so that I can make a more precise move. So now I'm going to meet in the middle. Let's try that. That's pretty good. So I just zoomed in to make a more precise drag. I dragged it slightly to the left.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. I mean, it
So
makes sense. I just
So now I can,
didn't know that I can do that.
so now I'm going to zoom back out using that slider. All right, let me undo. All right, now you give it a go.
Okay, so you Command plus.
To zoom in.
Zoom in. Okay,
So I'm reacting a little early, right?
Right.
So you need to grab that top clip and move it slightly to the right. Uh-oh.
oh, what did I just say?
Um,
Command Z.
actually, in this case, that's not going to work. Collapse. There you go. Drag it click and hold and drag it slightly to the right. And drag it slightly to the right. There you go.